Hello? Can you guys hear me now? Okay, perfect. Yeah, the problem is that we don't have our presentation here. I don't know. I uploaded it twice, but I can't see it here. So upload a new file. I'm gonna do it again. So guys, just be patient. I hope it works soon, so then we can start. Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start another browser and see if it works there, because I don't think I think we have a problem here. So maybe I could switch to another browser and see if it works there. So I'm gonna close this session for a minute. Yeah, but you guys don't see any presentation, do you? You don't see any presentation. So I have no choice but to restart this thing. So I'm gonna see you guys in a couple of minutes, okay? Hello? Am I audible now? Do you guys hear me? Okay, great. So and you also see my presentation? Okay, one yes would do actually. So sorry guys for this delay. This tool is always yeah, sort of has problem every time we use it. So last time also we had to cancel because there was some problem with the tool. And unfortunately, it's always a Saturday when we do have sessions like these. So which means that there's no support also available. So we have to figure out ourselves how to solve the problem that we face. Um, So we're gonna start because we already yeah, lost 12 minutes already. So we will quickly start our presentation, and I would request you guys not to write any questions on the right, because uh, yeah, um, we will have a question answer session in the evening. Sorry, I just saw Maghrib over there, so I said evening, but at the end of this session we will have a question answer session. So Just write down your questions with you, and once we start the question answer sessions, that you can start asking questions. So I'll start now the presentation, and so we start by, of course, my wee bit of introduction. My name is Rizwan Mumtaz. On the right side in the chat, I appear as Vakal Beg because I'm using the administrative rights to use this chat room, video conference room. And so my introduction is that my name is Rizwan Mumtaz, and I'm currently a PhD fellow at RWTH Aachen University in Germany. And prior to that, I did my master's in embedded systems and ambient intelligence on Erasmus Mundus scholarship back in 2009, from 2009 to 2011. And currently, I'm working with the Erasmus Mundus Association as president of South Asian chapter for the association. So part of my job is to promote the program and do sort of activities for the program and the alumni network in our region, in South Asian region. And before that, I did my engineering in computer systems engineering from University of Engineering and Technology, Peshawar. Uh, Anyhow, I think okay. So there would be a video. The video of this lecture would also be available on YouTube channels, and probably Wakar will also send all of you guys the Dropbox link where he will upload these videos. So just in case you cannot attend now, or let's say if you have if there are other people who couldn't attend the session today, they can watch the video later on. So our talk today would consist of mainly what Erasmus Plus, or formerly known as Erasmus Mundus, is, and what kind of opportunity it provides to people, and what kind of people, and what different action does it have, and what is the structure of this program, and who can benefit from this program, and how. And also we will discuss in briefly about the application procedures and how to make quality applications, because that's also, in fact, that's the most important part of this most important part usually people are interested in. Unfortunately, we would not be discussing like a lot of different tips and tricks about how to master making good quality applications, but we would we would touch on that, of course. um, and we would also discuss some resources and useful information in places where you can see guidance and you can ask questions from people who have uh, yeah, won this scholarship in the past. So next I would move to Erasmus Mundus objectives. So basically the program was started back in 2003 and 2004 with an aim to enhance the quality of European higher education through international cooperation, improve on the quality of the education that universities in Europe they provide. And the idea was to get these universities engaged in attracting brilliant students from all over the world to its universities, and all this mutual exchange of students would actually result in high quality education. And also the reason was to improve the development of human resource both in Europe and also for the countries from where the scholars are invited in Europe to study their masters and PhDs and other programs. And also one of the reasons was to promote dialogue and understanding between people and cultures. So this is one of the most important things that the European Parliament and European Union right now is focusing on, is to increase the chances of cultural exchanges so that people can know each other better. And there's no other better strategy than to actually have this thing done by the students and scholars. And finally, the objective was to promote Europe as a center of excellence in learning around the world. Next up is Erasmus Mundus. So what does it offer? So indeed, Erasmus Mundus, for now I will use the word Erasmus Mundus, but I'm going to switch to Erasmus Plus soon, and we would see what is the difference between Erasmus Mundus and Erasmus Plus. Because Erasmus Mundus, we had a similar talk last year also in November, and we covered Erasmus Mundus in detail, but today's lecture is mainly about the transition from Erasmus Mundus to Erasmus Plus. So what does actually Erasmus Mundus, or what it used to offer, is that it offers scholarships for excellent students and researchers to follow an Erasmus Mundus master course or joint doctorate at 2 or more European universities. So this is actually very crucial to understand this this definition. Is that um, you have a program in which you are awarded a scholarship to study in Europe, but not in one unit. Actually, it depends on which kind of actions we are talking about. But you're given a scholarship to come to Europe and study in one or more universities. And the objective is, as we discussed earlier, also is the exchange of studies, research, and training for a short or long period. And it offers top quality masters and doctoral courses in broad variety of disciplines. And it is a scheme that is open to the student throughout the world. So anybody from anywhere in the world can actually apply to Erasmus Mundus scholarships. And then transition to Erasmus Plus. So Erasmus Mundus and its different actions were offered for a period of around 10 years from 2004 to 2014. So the term Erasmus Mundus was first coined in 2004 when the European Parliament actually approved on a program in which the universities in Europe were actually asked to invite students from different countries for exchange studies. And most of the time people actually ask me the question, what does Erasmus mean, or why Erasmus? So Erasmus was actually a very known scholar, scientist, some centuries back, who actually was the first person to throw this idea that students from one university or one learning place should go to another university or another learning place and do this exchange. So when the European Parliament, they approved the idea, so they actually named it after Erasmus. And it has different initiatives such as Erasmus Mundus Action 1, Erasmus Mundus Action 2, Action 3, and joint doctorates, and also some other sort of token names. For instance, lifelong learning program, Tempus, Alpha, EduLink, bilateral program. So there are many different kind of things in European sense to actually provide people, student opportunities to come to Europe and studies, or even inside Europe, people are given opportunity to come from one university to another and do an exchange study there. So from 2014 to 2020, they actually have started another program which is called Erasmus Plus, which is in truth not much different from what we had earlier. But as you see in the previous bullet, that you see that there are many different programs: Action 1, Action 2, Action 3, doctorates, lifelong program, Alpha, EduLink. So what Erasmus Plus does is actually it streamlines all these programs into one unified program, so that the management and organization of this whole practice becomes rather easier. Before, it was like when they started in 2004, 2003, 2004, so they were actually rolling a program every 2-3 years. There was a new program coming out. First there was Action 1, then Action 2 came, lifelong learning program started. So guys, just in case you have some audio problem, refresh your browser, and I hope it will start working. And make sure that your video camera and your video camera and your microphone are switched off, so that then you will see better quality presentation. So Erasmus Plus is actually an umbrella program covering all above programs, and we will see that how it does that in a minute. So you see that there are 3 different key actions, and on the left you see that these were the existing programs: Mundus, lifelong program, Tempus, Alpha, EduLink, bilateral programs, and there were some other programs which are which were not educational, but sort of were rather were youth exchange programs, and they were called youth in action programs. And what Erasmus Plus does is it combines everything into one single program with three different sort of strands. The first one is learning mobility. So everything that is in which you learn something, like do a master's or do an exchange program, that is learning mobility. And the second is cooperation project, and third is policy support. Do not ask questions. Hold on to your questions until the end of the presentations, and we will have time for your questions. So because if you start doing question answers now, we might not be able to finish the presentation. If I'm too fast or too slow, do not complain. But if I'm too fast, just say that, and I'll try to be a little slower then. So here now we jump to what is Erasmus Plus and what is in it for education, training, youth, and sport. So I hate it because the you have to click every time to change the slide. Anyway, so combines seven European Union education, training, and youth programs, and introduces sport for the first time. So as we spoke already, that Erasmus Plus actually combines Erasmus Mundus, different actions, tempos, bilateral exchanges, alpha, everything into one single program, and call it Erasmus Plus for, as I said, management and management perspective, management reasons. And so for around 6 to 7 years of this program, it has a total budget of 14.7 billion euros. So it's like a lot of money that the European Union will be spending on education or exchange education, as one might say. And this is actually an increase of 40% compared to what we had for the previous 6 or 7 years. So this is like a lot of increase, both in terms of money and as well as opportunities that it will brought at the end. So Erasmus Plus actually provides increased learning opportunities abroad for students and teachers and scholars, and EU grants and training for about 4 million people and 125,000 institutions. So you could see that when everything is put into one bracket, so Erasmus Plus will actually provide opportunities for around 4 million people. Like when we talk about everything, like master programs, course, credit exchanges, sport, youth programs, volunteer activities, loan schemes, everything. So when you speak about everything, 4 million people will actually benefit from this, and that would mean that 125,000 institutions. And so learning mobility of individuals, which is sort of the things that most of you would be interested in. So that would be at least 63% of money would be spent on learning mobility. So master courses, somebody wants to do a thesis in Europe from Pakistan, or somebody wants to come for a couple of semesters to Europe from Pakistan. So this 63% budget would be actually spent on that. And the next thing is to improve on the cooperation and innovation, cooperation for innovation and the exchange of good practices. So we will see what that means. That actually means that if somebody wants to come here for a sport exchange or a cultural exchange, so 28% of budget would be spent on that. And policy reforms would be 4.2% of the whole money, which is like 14 billion, as I said earlier. 2 million higher education students would benefit from it, and 500,000 young people will volunteer or participate in youth exchanges, and 650,000 vocational apprenticeship and traineeship abroad will be provided in the new program. So it has like a lot of different type of opportunities for uh, for us to actually benefit from. So most of the people think that Erasmus Mundus or Erasmus Plus is just about doing a master's degree or a doctoral degree in Europe, but that's not completely true. The truth is that you can actually do a lot of different things. For instance, if you are running a small company in Pakistan, and you can actually look for opportunities that provides entrepreneurial um, training for you somewhere in Europe, and you can actually apply for a grant from Erasmus Plus for that. And so, further breaking it down, 200,000 master's degrees loan scheme would be provided. So actually, you can apply for loan also while studying for masters, and 25,000 joint master's degrees grants. So this is something that most people are interested in, which is joint master's degree. So why we call it joint master degree is because it's the current Erasmus Mundus Action 1, in which student comes from Pakistan or anywhere in the world, and he studies his master in more than one university. It could be 2 universities, could be 3 universities, any number of universities, but at least two. So that is why it is called joint masters. And most of the time people are awarded with multiple degrees also, one from each university. Sometimes they're provided a joint degree, so all different kinds of settings work. Next we move up to what else is there about other than master's degree is 800,000 educators and youth workers will acquire new teaching and learning method support. As I said, it's not only about studying master's program or studying PhD in Europe. It also gives opportunities for educators, for youth workers, people who are volunteers to look for opportunities for themselves in Europe, for training, for teaching, for skill development, anything. So all you have, what and like on our part is to actually look up for such possibilities, and the possibilities indeed exist. Knowledge alliances, which means that what kind of alliances, like what kind of mutual cooperation, bilateral practices would actually be encouraged in this program, is that 150 alliances and 1,500 higher education institution and enterprises. So I'm not sure how many of you have actually heard about Erasmus Mundus Action 2, in which some universities form a partnership, and it also gives opportunity to Pakistani universities or universities in the Asian region or in American continent, both South and Northern America, to actually form bilateral, not bilateral, but multilateral, or be part of partnerships in which they can actually benefit in a way that their students and their teachers and faculty or academic staff can actually travel to Europe, come to Europe and do a training or research, short-term research project or whatever. So these are called higher education institutions alliances, and that would be actually further bolstered in the new Erasmus Plus program. But this was also previously available in Action 2, that universities from one part of the world can form a partnership with universities in other part of the world, and then they can do these exchange of practices, like students coming and faculties moving from one universities to another. But uh, what Erasmus Plus does is actually it also gives opportunity to enterprises like companies and yeah, different companies and enterprises and corporations to become part of such exchanges. So it is not only now limited to universities. You see the word HEIs or HE, which means higher education institute. So it's not only now limited to higher education institution, but also includes uh, companies, corporations, NGOs, all kinds of things. Everybody can actually apply for a knowledge alliance. And yet you can see in the number that around 2,000 education and training providers and enterprises will participate in this program. There are also some strategic partnerships like cross-cultural, cross-sectoral cooperation in the fields of higher education, veterinary sciences, school education, adult education, and youth, and sort of 25,000 partnerships and 125,000 institutions will actually participate in this strategic partnerships. Coming to sport, 600 collaborative partnerships, including non-profit sports events, will benefit from this program, and 3,000 partners organizations will participate in cooperation projects, and an annual EU Sport Forum filed for dialogue with sports stakeholders. So now it actually has the possibility to engage with sports stakeholders. For instance, I don't know, sports like ICC is a sports stakeholder, so or FIFA is a sports stakeholder. So the program actually provides an opportunity to cooperate with such organizations for the promotion of sport also. And there are opportunities for local sports stakeholders. Like for instance, in Pakistan we have PCB, so it can also sort of benefit from this program. Jean Monnet will support 400 teaching posts and 600 short courses globally, and over 100 centers of excellence will be supported around the world. So this is also another program in which focuses on the training and exchange of teachers, and will also work on establishing center of excellence around the world. Everything that we have so far been talking about is included in Erasmus Plus. So in the beginning, Erasmus Mundus was just thought of something that provides scholarship to students for master's studies or PhD. But the idea here that we are discussing now today is that there is much more to it other than scholarships for master's. There's much more to that. There's, if you're a sportsman, if you're working in an NGO, if you're working in a university as a professor, as an academician, and if you're working in a university or somewhere as an academic staff, there's always something for you in Erasmus Plus if you can look for yourself and look carefully. So finally, let's have a recap. So what Erasmus Plus brings is it's an integrated program and more accessible program. So and is an attempt to renew the focus on skills for employment and new opportunities for modernizing teaching and learning, and new partnerships between education and world of work. So it's not, as I said, it's not about only about master studies or PhD studies. It's about pretty much everything now, from education to sports to youth exchanges to work, everything. So as I said, the enterprise and corporation can also become part of uh, uh, exchange programs or cooperative, different kinds of cooperation between higher education commissions and other things. So keep your question with hold on to your question. We would get back to that when we start question answer session. If you have any questions about or need any further information, I know it's a little bit difficult because the program is such a huge product at the end of like a lot of work by the European Commission, and so it's a little difficult. But all you can do is to look for the program, to dig into it and find opportunities for yourself. And almost everything is available online. You can have a look at these links that are mentioned on this slide, and actually you can also ask people on Twitter and Facebook about if you have any questions. So, and now we come to the more traditional part of this presentation, which is like, because as I see most of you, I think we have like around 50 participants, and in my opinion most of you would be actually looking for master studies or PhD abroad. So that's why from now on we will exclusively talk about only the sort of study part of what Erasmus Plus offers. And from now on, when I say Erasmus Mundus and Erasmus Plus, they're interchangeable terms. Like they're sort of the same, because it doesn't mean that Erasmus Mundus is gonna go away absolutely, because it's gonna stay, but inside Erasmus Plus with much more possibilities than there were in the past. So, what is an Erasmus Mundus course or a joint doctorate? So, an Erasmus Mundus course is something of a course that is developed and delivered by a consortium of universities. When I said consortium of universities, that means that a group of universities actually offer one program. So unlike the traditional sense where you apply to a university, let's say in England, you apply to, for instance, Imperial College London, and you say, oh, I want to do this master's program, or at this institute, and I want an admission. In this thing, actually, 3 or 4 universities, sometimes more than that, they actually offer one single program. For instance, there is an Erasmus Mundus course in which Imperial College is also a part. So Imperial College, for instance, Imperial College, King's College London, a university in France, and a university in Sweden, they collectively offer one program. What you do is you come to you come to at least 2 of these universities, could be 3, could be 4, and study your masters as an exchange study. So you spend 1 semester somewhere, or 2 semesters in one university, 1 or 2 semesters in another university. Like for instance, I did in 2009 when I got the scholarship. So I first came to Germany. I studied 2 semesters in Germany, and hold on a second. So I studied 2 semesters in Germany. Then I moved to Italy for 2 further semesters, and so that means that my master's was in 2 different universities. But in the program, actually, there were 3 universities. The third one was University of Edinburgh in Scotland. So, but my mobility was such that I had to stay in 2 universities here and there. But I had class fellows who stayed in Edinburgh in Italy, and some people stayed in Edinburgh in Germany. So, like different permutations from 3 different universities. So you can have, like, I think 6 different mobilities. 3 if you just count the universities, but 6 if you count the order in which every student stays in the university. Okay, so the joint master program, which is the legacy of Erasmus Mundus and will be continued in Erasmus Plus, is that an EM course is developed and delivered by a consortium of HEIs, as I already said, and must involve at least 3 European higher education institutes, and may or may not involve a non-EU university. So, and it provides full study scholarships plus scholar grants, and awards a joint degree or a multiple degree at the conclusion of the program, or so-called course. And there are so many different thematic disciplines for which scholarships are provided, from agricultural sciences to, I don't know, art and design, geography, health sciences, humanities, languages, computer science, electrical engineering, pretty much everything that you study in modern world. So almost all kinds of different courses are available. And next up is the Erasmus Mundus joint doctorates. So from 2004 to 2013, Erasmus Mundus joint doctorate were treated same way as Erasmus Mundus master courses. So just as you apply for Erasmus Mundus master course and you expect to stay in in 2 or 3 different universities, in this one you also had the same procedure that you applied to the Erasmus Mundus consortium for the position in PhD. And what you do is you stay 1 or 2 semesters for a certain period in one university with one supervisor, and you move to another university to a different supervisor, and at the end of the studies you have like 3-4 different supervisor, and that's how it works. But from 2014 to 2020, like as of now, the program will be offered under new Erasmus Plus as Marie Sklodowska Curie Action. So formerly called Marie Curie actions. And but still the application procedures remains the same. All you have to do is, instead of going to the Erasmus Mundus website, now you have to go to Erasmus. Maybe I have the, yeah. So all you have to do is to look for Marie Curie actions, and I'm putting the link here, so you can actually go to this action, this website, and you can see that this is the portal now that deals with uh, PhD scholarships from now on. So in terms of joint programs in 2013, 138 master courses, that's a lot of courses, and 45 joint doctorates were offered. So 138 master courses would mean that there were courses from electrical engineering, in electrical engineering again, from power, from communication, from computer science, humanities, geography, earth sciences. Everything was there. All you had to do was to look for a master program that actually interests you. And so last year, 2,000 plus master scholarships and 300 doctoral fellowships and 450 scholarships were provided. And from now on, uh, for the next um, for the next 6 to 7 years, so 14,000 master students and 2,000 scholars and 6,640 doctoral candidates would actually benefit from this program. So, sorry, it's not from now on, but from 2004 to 2012, this was the number. So around, yeah, more than I would say around 1,500 scholarships every year were provided on average for students from different parts of the world. And now in Erasmus Plus, 25,000 joint master scholarships for many courses. So that would mean that in 7 years, uh, actually 6 years, for every year 4,000 on average, 4,200 scholarships would be provided. So that's all actually more than double of what was awarded previously every year. So that means that there's a huge increase of number of scholarships. So I mean, of course, for people who come from the so-called third countries like us, this is like provide a huge opportunity for us to come abroad and study on Erasmus Mundus scholarships. And again, joint doctorate will be offered under Marie Curie actions, as I spoke earlier. So, what is the, like, as we say, so what is the fun for applying for the scholarship and then winning it? Why is it good? So before, like until now, so around 30,000 euros for Erasmus Mundus master course and around 50,000 euros for Erasmus Mundus joint doctorate was given as a scholarship money to the students who actually win the scholarship. And again, there are like different categories also. So there was a category 1 scholarship for which these numbers are for category 1 scholarship. And there's also category B where the scholarship amount is very low, like for instance 300 euros per month or something. So but like, yeah, I would just, for the sake of brevity and being brief, I would just say that the most lucrative ones were these ones. So, and EM Erasmus Mundus Master Course Scholarship for students and researchers, and the money that they provide covers participation costs like fees and living costs and travel insurance. So they also give you insurance and all different kinds of things. So it's basically is a very handsomely paid scholarship if you manage to win one. And Erasmus Plus will possibly see an increase in scholarship amount. So because now we don't know how much every scholar will get under Erasmus Plus, because it's going to get started at the end of this year. But hopefully the scholarship amount will actually further increase. Next question is, how do I apply to joint masters programs? Is there anyone on this in this session who is not applying for a master's degree, or who is not applying for a PhD degree, but just here to find out if there are any other Yeah, if there are, I am. So, okay. There's at least one guy who is not applying for master's degree and not applying for a doctorate. No, I said that those who are not applying for masters or PhD. But anyway, uh, okay, we are done. So I got the impression. Thank you very much. So how do I apply to join master's program? Um, this also explains the type of answers that I get. Also explains that most of the guys are, here for the session, but sort of are not very focused on what we are saying, because my question was exactly the opposite. And yeah, but anyway, close down. I mean, switch off your Facebook and yeah, YouTube and Tribune.com.pk, because a lot of stuff is happening in Pakistan right now. But focus on this thing, because this is very useful. If you're really interested in applying for the program. And so, how do I apply to join master's program? Uh, so you should have obtained an appropriate higher education degree. So if you are applying for a master's, that would mean you need to have a bachelor's degree. But in Pakistan, sometimes people ask questions like, they have this so-called 2 years degree, bachelor's degree. So we use this term called 16 years of education. So which would mean that if you have a 2 years PhD, then you should have a so-called MSc also, or otherwise if a 4 years bachelor's degree. In truth, it is, yeah, you need to have a certain number of credit hours, which is generally is the case with 16 years education. So for masters, you need to have a 16 years education, and for a PhD, you need to have a 17 or 18 years of education. I say 17 because if somebody has done a master's in, let's say, England, where the master's is in 1 year, then yeah, of course, that is also this guy is also eligible. Uh, and then uh, this candidate must also fulfill the specific selection criteria defined by the joint master's or doctorate program of your choice. So most of the time, people time and again ask questions, what is the criteria? So there's a generic criteria by the Erasmus Mundus, which means that you need to have, a degree, and you must be eligible. And then there are certain criteria that are defined by the program that you're applying. So, for instance, some program says, okay, you need to have a 16 degree of education, you need to have score on IELTS or TOEFL, you need to have, I don't know, some training, for instance, two years of work experience, blah, blah, blah. What you have to do is you have to look, first of all, you have to find out what is it that you are applying to. Like, for instance, if somebody is a student of textile engineering, has done something in textile engineering, for instance, and she's looking for a program for, yeah, in this field. So what she or he has to do is to first look at the Erasmus Mundus master courses. I'm sure if you just type Erasmus Mundus master courses, you get a list of whole 140 odd programs that you can actually apply to. And from these on, you find the program that you can apply to, and then you check if you fulfill the requirements of this program, and that's basically where you get the correct information. And if you're eligible, there's a nice frequently asked questions session on Erasmus Mundus website also, so which actually defines if you can apply for the program. Generally, I mean, if you're just sitting in Pakistan and you have a 16 years of degree, 16 years of education, you can apply to these programs, but you have to have, in most cases, an IELTS program. There's one question which people ask sometimes, is that if you have benefited from Erasmus Mundus in the past, can you apply for it again? So the answer to that is that if you have been given an Erasmus Mundus scholarship in the past and you have studied, you can apply to another Erasmus only for a degree which is above the degree that you study. And also, yeah. So this is basically if you have already got a scholarship for masters, you can apply for a PhD now. But if you have uh, just done an exchange on Erasmus Plus, like for example in Erasmus Mundus Action 2, then you can apply for Erasmus Mundus Action 1 program also, because you have not done your complete master. Another very simple thing is that for Erasmus Mundus, okay, the rule is that if you have stayed in Europe for study purposes, remember, if you have stayed in Europe for the study purposes for more than a period of 1 year during last 5 years, you cannot apply, right? So if you have stayed in Europe during last 5 years and have done so for study purposes and more than 1 year, exact more than 1 year. If it is 1 day less than 1 year, you can still apply, right? So that's actually the eligibility question. But I don't know if you still want but I don't know if they check it or not. So if you really wish to apply again and you have stayed in Europe during for more than a year during past 5 years, I mean, it's your luck. You can still apply and see if you get through it. So what you do is when you apply for the master program, you go to this Erasmus Mundus website, as I said. This is also available now on Erasmus Plus website. So these are interchangeable, as I said earlier. So all procedures and requirements are mentioned in this portal, and we haven't spoken about Action 2 now, but I think in a minute we will. But so requirements are mentioned on the portal, and what you do is when you go to this link, you look for the courses that you can apply. For instance, if I am from computer science, I shortlist all those courses which are related to computer science. Then let's say if I want to study computer science but major in something like computational logic, so I look for a computer science course that actually provides computational logic as a major. So once I have shortlisted all these, like uh, I found out all those different programs to which I can apply. So what I do is I pick those courses and then see which are the courses that I like the most. Which are the courses for which the requirements are not so, for which all the requirements I easily fulfill. Which are the courses which have higher number of scholarships. So all these different considerations makes it easy for you to make a decision, and you can apply to as many as three, but not more than that, three different master program in Erasmus Mundus Action 1, the so-called Erasmus Mundus joint master courses. So you cannot apply to more than three. That's the rule. But let's say if you want to apply for another program, which is Action 2, then you can apply to as many as Action 2 programs, but not more than three Action 1 program. That is the final rule. So, and Action 2 partnerships will continue to offer scholarships 2017. So all the partnerships, we will speak about that in a minute. So, but all the partnerships, you see in Action 1, we say Erasmus Mundus Master Courses. And in Action 2, we say Erasmus Mundus Partnerships. So we will explain that in a minute, what partnership means. So, and then Erasmus Plus is the continuity of the previous program until they slowly conclude in next 3 years. So what was being offered last year is most probably being offered this year also, right? So it's not like a lot of change all of a sudden. It would be a mutual transition to the new Erasmus Plus program. So I guess this is further details about what we already spoke. So once you have made your selection, as I said, you make a selection from the list of courses available, and then you go to the website of your chosen courses. So from these selection, the courses that you have selected, you go to the website of each of these courses. And the course website will give you the details you require about tuition fee, application procedure, etc. यार पंजाबी ना बोल रहे हो. I don't know who. we can't even do a vote here, but if you guys all appreciate, we can start in Urdu. अच्छा, चले उर्दू में बात करते हैं, ठीक है. सो फिर हम ये कि उर्दू के साथ ख़यानत करेंगे, उसमें फिर हम अंग्रेज़ी बोलेंगे, तो ये तो फिर मुश्किल हो जाएगा. या फिर मैं कोशिश करूँ कि मैं सही-सही उर्दू बोलूँ. चलो ठीक है, उर्दू में बात करते हैं. پښتو کې نشم کولای خبرې، یا ډېر کم کسان مو پوهېږي. ایک نے کہا پشتو تو میں سوچ رہا ہوں کہ پشتو میں تو پھر بہت کم لوگوں کو سمجھ آئے گی. اچھا چلیں یہ چٹ چٹ بند کریں، پھر آگے چلتے ہیں، اور ہمارے پاس ٹائم نہیں رہے گا. آ, اچھا تو پہلے آپ یہ کرتے ہیں کہ آپ سارے کورسز دیکھتے ہیں، ان میں سے آپ وہ کورسز سلیکٹ کرتے ہیں جو کہ آپ کے جو کچھ آپ پڑھنا چاہتے ہیں اس کے مطابق ہیں، یعنی اس ایریا سے میں سے ہیں. تو پھر آپ کیا کرتے ہیں کہ آپ وہ والے کورسز ان کی ویب سائٹس دیکھتے ہیں، ان میں دیکھتے ہیں کہ جی اس کی ریکوائرمنٹس کیا ہیں، انہوں نے کیا کیا مانگا ہوا ہے، اس کی ڈیڈ لائن کب ہے، اس کی اپلیکیشن پریپیئر کرنے میں مجھے کتنا ٹائم لگے گا. اس کی بیسس پہ آپ 3 کورسز سلیکٹ کرتے ہیں، 3 سے زیادہ کے لیے اپلائی نہیں کر سکتے. یہ بھی دیکھیں کہ اس کی اسکالرشپ کتنی ہے، اس میں کون کون سی یونیورسٹیز ہیں، کون کون سے ملک ہیں. مثال کے طور پر آپ نے 5 کورسز شروع میں شارٹ لسٹ کیے، ان 5 میں سے 2 کورسز جو ہے نا ان میں ایک منٹ کے لیے یہ سوچیں کہ ان میں سے 2 کورسز ایسے ہیں جن میں آپ کو رومانیہ جانا پڑ رہا ہے، یا سلوواکیہ جانا پڑتا ہے، یا کسی چھوٹے یورپین ملک میں جانا پڑتا ہے. تو اس لیے جو ہے تو وہ مطلب اس کو ہم پھر ایسی آپشنس کو ہم دوسری آپشنس کو اس پہ ترجیح دیتے ہیں تاکہ ہم اچھی یونیورسٹیز میں پڑھ سکیں. اور آپ نے یہ یاد رکھنا ہے کہ آپ نے اپنی اپلیکیشن جو ہے وہ کوآرڈینیٹر کو بھیجنی ہے، جو کورس کوآرڈینیٹر ہوتا ہے. لیکن یہ ساری انفارمیشن جس کورس کے لیے آپ اپلائی کرنا چاہتے ہیں اس کے اوپر اویلیبل ہوتی ہے. ٹھیک ہے. یہ چھوٹی سی ٹائم لائن ہے، مطلب جب آپ اپلائی کرنا چاہتے ہیں سپٹمبر سے آن ورڈ آپ شروع کرتے ہیں. سپٹمبر میں آپ سارے پروگرام وہ ڈال دیتے ہیں اپنے اس پہ، آپ چیک کرنا شروع کر دیتے ہیں کہ ان میں سے میں کون سے پروگرام کے لیے اپنی جو درخواست ہے وہ داخل کر سکتا ہوں. اور اس کے اوپر جو ہے نا تاریخ بھی لکھی ہوتی ہے کہ یہ کس تاریخ تک آپ نے جو ہے نا اس درخواست کو جو ہے نا جمع کرانا ہے. اور یہ تاریخ جو ہوتی ہے مطلب عام طور پر یہ نومبر میں ہوتی ہے، یا پھر نومبر سے آگے یہ جو ہے نا شروع ہو جاتی ہے. نومبر دسمبر میں زیادہ تر تاریخیں ہوتی ہیں اس کی، آپ کی جو اپلیکیشن ہوتی ہے اس کی. ریزلٹس آپ کے مارچ میں آنے شروع ہو جاتے ہیں. اپریل میں آپ کو بتایا جاتا ہے کہ آپ کو اسکالرشپ ملا یا نہیں. بعض اوقات ایسے ہوتا ہے کہ آپ شروع میں جو ہے نا مین لسٹ پہ نہیں آتے، آپ کو جو ہے نا وہ کہتے ہیں کہ آپ انتظار والی لسٹ میں جو ہے نا اس میں آپ کا نام ہے. تو بعض اوقات ایسے بھی ہوتا ہے کہ انتظار والی لسٹ سے جو ہے نا آپ کا نام اوپر آ کے جو بنیادی لسٹ ہوتی ہے اس میں آ جاتا ہے. اور سپٹمبر سے آگے جو ہے نا آپ کا کورس سٹارٹ ہوتا ہے. اس دوران مئی جون جولائی میں آپ کے پاس ٹائم ہوتا ہے ویزے کے لیے اپلائی کرنے کا. یہ ساری چیزیں یہ آپ نے اردو کا کہنا مجھے سلو کروا دی ہے. 12 یہ جو ہے نا یہ ایکشن 2 ہے. ایکشن 1 کے بارے میں ہم پہلے سے بات کر چکے ہیں. ایکشن 2 یہ یورپین یونیورسٹیز جو ہے ان کا ایشین یونیورسٹیز کے ساتھ جو ہے نا پارٹنرشپ ہوتی ہے. اور اس پارٹنرشپ میں جو ہے نا پاکستانی جو یونیورسٹیز ہیں پرائمریلی ان کے اسٹوڈنٹس، اور اگر ان کے اسٹوڈنٹس نہیں ہیں تو پھر اور اسٹوڈنٹس جو ہے نا وہ باہر آ سکتے ہیں پڑھنے کے لیے کسی پروگرام پہ. ٹھیک ہے. تو یہ سارا ٹیکسٹ جو ہے نا یہ آپ کے پاس اویلیبل ہوگا. آپ کو اس کو غور سے پڑھیں تو آپ کو یہ سمجھ بھی آ جائے گا کہ کیا کیا ہوتا ہے. ٹھیک ہے. اس کی جو اسکالرشپس ہیں وہ ذرا ویریس لینتھس کی ہوتی ہیں. مثال کے طور پر ہم نے ایکشن 1 کے جو ماسٹر اسکالرشپ تھے ان میں دیکھا کہ وہ پورا ماسٹرز پروگرام ہوتا ہے 4 سیمسٹر کا، 2 سال کا. لیکن یہ جو ہوتا ہے نا یہ 6 مہینے کے لیے بھی ہو سکتا ہے اگر تو آپ کوئی شارٹ ٹرم ریسرچ کے لیے آنا چاہتے ہیں، یا پھر 1 سال کے لیے بھی ہوتا ہے اگر تو آپ مطلب چھوٹے سے چھوٹے ماسٹرز کے لیے آنا چاہتے ہیں، 1 سال کے ماسٹر پروگرام بھی ہوتے ہیں، یا ویریس لینتھ کے لیے ہوتے ہیں، پی ایچ ڈی کے لوگ بھی آ سکتے ہیں، ہر طرح کے لوگ جو ہے نا اس میں آ سکتے ہیں. تو آپ نے صرف دیکھنا یہ ہوتا ہے کہ کیا آپ کے ملک کی کوئی یونیورسٹی اس کسی پروگرام کا حصہ ہے. اگر تو ہے تو کیا مطلب آپ اس یونیورسٹی کے اسٹوڈنٹ ہیں. اگر نہیں ہے آپ پھر بھی اپلائی کر سکتے ہیں. یاد رکھیں اس میں 3 طرح کے اسٹوڈنٹس ہوتے ہیں. ان کو کہتے ہیں ٹارگیٹ گروپ 1، ٹارگیٹ گروپ 2 اور ٹارگیٹ گروپ 3. جو ٹارگیٹ گروپ 1 ہوتا ہے وہ اسٹوڈنٹس ہوتے ہیں جو اسی یونیورسٹی کے اسٹوڈنٹ ہوتے ہیں جو یونیورسٹی پارٹنرشپ کا حصہ ہے. مثال کے طور پر پنجاب یونیورسٹی اگر ایک پارٹنرشپ کا حصہ ہے نا، تو پنجاب یونیورسٹی کے اسٹوڈنٹس ٹارگیٹ گروپ 1 اسٹوڈنٹس ہیں. باقی سارے کے سارے اسٹوڈنٹس بھی اپلائی کر سکتے ہیں باقی یونیورسٹیز کے پاکستان سے، لیکن وہ کیا ہوں گے، وہ ٹارگیٹ گروپ 2 ہوں گے. اور اگر کسی کو ڈسیبلٹی ہے یا کوئی بندہ کسی ڈسکریمنیشن کا شکار ہے تو وہ ایز ٹارگیٹ گروپ 3 اسٹوڈنٹس جو ہے نا وہ اپلائی کر سکتا ہے اس پروگرام کے لیے. یہ ہم نے دوبارہ وہی بات لکھی ہوئی ہے جو ابھی میں کہہ چکا ہوں. تو یہ اس کا مطلب یہ ہے کہ یونیورسٹیز کے اس کا فوکس اس پروگرام کا یہ ہوتا ہے کہ یونیورسٹیز کے بیچ میں کوآپریشن زیادہ ہو. ٹھیک ہے، تاکہ ایک جگہ کے اسٹوڈنٹس دوسری جگہ جائیں، وہاں پڑھیں، بلا بلا جو بھی ہے. 3 مہینے سے لے کر 3 سال تک کسی بھی لینتھ کا آپ کو اسکالرشپ مل سکتا ہے، اور ہر طرح کا اسکالرشپ ملتا ہے. بیچلر کا ملتا ہے، ماسٹرز کا ملتا ہے، ڈاکٹریٹ کا ملتا ہے، پوسٹ ڈاکٹورل اسٹڈیز کے لیے ملتا ہے. اسٹاف ٹیچنگ یہ سارے لوگ بھی آ جا سکتے ہیں ریسرچ کے لیے. لیکن سارے کے سارے یاد رکھیں ایکشن 2 جو تھا نا یہ پرانا ہے نا، تو اس میں سارے کے سارے لوگ جو ہیں وہ یہ ہونا چاہیے کہ سارے کے سارے لوگ ٹیچنگ کی سینس Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Do you listen? Do you hear me now? Okay, perfect. मेरा इंटरनेट थोड़ा सा गायब हो गया था तो इसलिए मुझे थोड़ा सा थोड़ा चेंज करना पड़ा. चले हम रिज्यूम करते हैं. सॉरी फॉर इनकन्वीनियंस. Let's get back to the presentation now. So so as I was saying. अच्छा. तो 3 महीने से लेकर 3 साल तक किसी भी लेंथ का आपको स्कॉलरशिप इसके लिए मिल सकता है. और इसमें ये भी पॉसिबिलिटी है कि कोई बाहर का यानी यहाँ यूरोपियन स्टूडेंट जो है वो पाकिस्तान या जो भी इधर मुल्क हैं जिनमें जो पार्टनरशिप के मेंबर्स हैं वहाँ जहाँ के स्टूडेंट भी वहाँ जा सकते हैं. ये भी पॉसिबिलिटी इसमें है. पार्टनरशिप्स जैसे हमने कहा इसमें कम से कम 5 यूनिवर्सिटीज होनी चाहिए और एटलीस्ट एक यूनिवर्सिटी फ्रॉम द ईच कंट्री इन जियोग्राफिक लॉ. सो वो उन्होंने ज्योग्राफी के हिसाब से कुछ डिफरेंट लॉट्स बनाए हुए हैं. उन लॉट्स में जो है ना हर लॉट की उस पूरे लॉट में से हर एक मुल्क में एक यूनिवर्सिटी होनी चाहिए और मैक्सिमम 20 पार्टनर हो सकते हैं. ये थोड़ी सी फिगर्स हैं. मैं इसकी डिटेल में नहीं जाना चाहता. आप लोग जो है ना उसको मजीद देख सकते हैं कि क्या क्या इसमें है. ये आपको इस स्लाइड पे आपको नजर आएगा कौन कौन से एक्शन 2 पार्टनरशिप्स अवेलेबल हैं. तो ये इनके डिफरेंट नाम है. फॉर एग्जांपल क्लिंक है, ईएमईए है, एक्सपर्ट 3 है. इनमें हर प्रोग्राम में पाकिस्तान की एक यूनिवर्सिटी जो है ना वो पार्टनर है. फॉर एग्जांपल आई डोंट नो क्लिंक में एक यूनिवर्सिटी है, ईएमईए. इसके अलावा कुछ नए प्रोग्राम्स भी थे जो पिछले साल उन्होंने स्टार्ट किए. उनके नाम भी हैं. इंटरवीन है और स्ट्रॉन्ग टाइज है. ये तो खैर ऑलरेडी लिखा हुआ है. तो इस तरह के डिफरेंट प्रोग्राम्स हैं. आप उसको जिसको प्रॉब्लम हो रही है ऑडियो में वो अपना ब्राउजर रिफ्रेश कर दें तो फिर आनी शुरू हो जाएगी. स्टूडेंट सिलेक्शन. सारे स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं ना वो कंसोर्शियस सिलेक्ट करती है जो यानी जिस कंसोर्शियम के लिए आप अप्लाई करते हैं. ठीक है. और पहले के लिए क्या होता है कि आप एक्शन 1 के लिए तो कोई मतलब ज्योग्राफिकल कंस्ट्रेंट नहीं है कि आप कहाँ से हैं. लेकिन पार्टनरशिप जो दूसरा एक्शन 2 है उसमें आपको ये दिखाया जाता है कि आप कहाँ किस नेशनैलिटी हैं और क्या आप उस ज्योग्राफिकल लॉट में हैं या नहीं है जिसके लिए आप जिस कोर्स के लिए या जिस पार्टनरशिप के लिए आप अप्लाई करना चाहते हैं. सही है. तो दूसरे के लिए आप क्यूरी एक्शंस को जैसे हमने पहले डिस्कस किया वैसे अप्लाई करते हैं. हाँ जी. सो आई थिंक टू मच इन्फॉर्मेशन. अब आप काफी कंफ्यूज हो चुके होंगे कि ये क्या चीज है और कहाँ है और किस तरफ में जाऊं. कुछ भी पता नहीं चलता. तो नतीजा इसका ये कि हम एक नटशेल में जो है ना सारा डिस्कस करते हैं कि ये है क्या. हम एक नटशेल में डिस्कस करते हैं कि ये सारा है क्या. तो स्टूडेंट्स इन हायर एजुकेशन कैन रिसीव स्कॉलरशिप्स फॉर अंडर ग्रेजुएशन स्टडीज. ये एक्शन 2 में आप सिर्फ कर सकते हैं. अगर कोई बंदा अंडर ग्रेजुएट के लिए आना चाहता है तो वो एक्शन 2 जो है ना वो उसको टारगेट करे. अगर कोई मास्टर स्टडीज के लिए आना चाहता है तो वो एक्शन 2 और एक्शन 1 दोनों के लिए जो है ना वो अप्लाई कर सकता है. अगर कोई क्रेडिट मोबिलिटी के लिए आना चाहता है, क्रेडिट मोबिलिटी का मतलब ये कि कोई एक आध सेमेस्टर बाहर आना चाहता है तो वो एक्शन 2 को यूज कर सकता है. और एरास्मस प्लस में जो है ना वो बायलैटरल एग्रीमेंट्स उसको कहा जाता है कि वो 2 यूनिवर्सिटीज का आपस में एग्रीमेंट होगा उसके थ्रू वो बाहर आ सकते हैं. बाहर की यूनिवर्सिटियां आपके क्रेडिट को रिकॉग्नाइज करेंगी और आपके यहाँ के क्रेडिट पाकिस्तान में रिकॉग्नाइज होंगे. सवाल ये होता है अक्सर कि जब आप अप्लाई करते हैं आप कहीं बाहर से आके कुछ क्रेडिट पढ़ते हैं तो पाकिस्तान में फिर वो होते नहीं है यानी रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं होते. लेकिन इस तरह के बायलैटरल एग्रीमेंट्स के बाद वो रिकॉग्नाइजेबल होंगे. डॉक्टोरल स्टडीज जो है ना वो आप कर सकते हैं मेरी क्यूरी एक्शंस के थ्रू. पोस्ट डॉक्टोरल स्टडीज जो है ना वो आप एक्शन 2 जो कि तब तक अवेलेबल होंगी 2017 तक ورنہ پوسٹ ڈاکٹرل اسٹڈیز جو ہے نا وہ آپ باقی جو Erasmus پلس کے ڈفرینٹ ایکشنز ہوں گے اس کے لیے اس میں آپ ڈفرینٹ دیکھ سکتے ہیں کہ کس کے لیے کیا جا سکتا ہے. ٹیچرز اور اکیڈیمک اسٹاف کے ممبر جو ہے نا وہ بھی Erasmus پلس اور ان ڈفرینٹ چیزوں کو دیکھ کے اپنے لیے اپلائی کر سکتے ہیں. نیکسٹ کوشچن از ہاؤ ٹو میک کوالٹی اپلیکیشن. یہ سب سے امپورٹنٹ سبجیکٹ ہوتا ہے جب بھی آپ اسکالرشپ کے لیے اپلائی کرتے ہیں. سب سے پہلے آپ نے یہ کرنا ہوتا ہے کہ آپ یہ جو میکنگ کوالٹی اپلیکیشن از اسکل دیٹ نیڈس ٹو بی ماسٹرڈ. سو آپ نے بڑے بیٹھ کے غور سے جو ہے نا کہ اس چیز کو سیکھنا ہوتا ہے کہ آپ کیسے اپلائی کریں ماسٹرز کے لیے اپلیکیشن کیسے بنائیں. امپورٹنٹ چیزیں کیا ہیں؟ فرسٹ آف آل ریلیونس آف یور پریویس ایجوکیشن ٹو دا پروگرام یو آر اپلائنگ ٹو. یعنی پچھلا پروگرام جو ہے نا جو آپ اپلائی کر رہے ہیں اس پروگرام کے لیے اس کے لیے آپ کے پاس پریویس ایجوکیشن ریلیونٹ ہے یا نہیں. ایسا نہیں ہو سکتا کہ آپ نے ماسٹرز کیا سوری بیچلرز آپ نے کیا کمیونیکیشن میں اور آپ اپلائی کرنا چاہتے ہیں بیچلرز آپ نے کیا اکنامکس میں اور آپ ماس کمیونیکیشن میں ماسٹرز اپلائی کرنا چاہتے ہیں. مطلب آپ اپلائی کر سکتے ہیں لیکن چانسز نہیں ہے کہ آپ سلیکٹ ہوں گے. گریڈز امپورٹنٹ ہیں. تیسری چیز جو ہے نا وہ اسٹیٹمنٹ آف پرپز موٹیویشن لیٹر یا پرسنل اسٹیٹمنٹ. یہ ہوتا کیا ہے؟ ہاؤ گڈ یو کین مارکیٹ یور سیلف, how good you can market your degree, how good you can market your skills and relevance of all these to the master's program you are applying to, indicating your familiarity, interest and the knowledge about the program, the study and the research you will carry out there, and the salient features of the program, the university involved and the mobility. یعنی جب آپ اپلائی کرتے ہیں تو آپ ایک لیٹر لکھتے ہیں یا ایک اسٹیٹمنٹ آف موٹیویشن لکھتے ہیں جس میں آپ یہ بتاتے ہیں کہ آپ اس پروگرام کو اسٹڈی کرنے کے لیے کتنے انتھوزیاسٹک ہیں اور آن ٹاپ آف دیٹ انتھوزیازم آپ کتنے اچھے انفارمڈ ہیں اس پروگرام کے بارے میں. اور آن ٹاپ آف دیٹ آپ کی جو پریویس ایجوکیشن ہے جو آپ کی اسکلز ہیں وہ اس پروگرام کو کتنا سوٹ کرتی ہیں. تو یہ ساری چیزیں آپ دیکھتے ہیں اور اس طرح کا ایک ایسے لکھتے ہیں. یہ لکھنا ایک تھوڑا سا مشکل کام ہے اور اس کو آپ نے خوب اس پہ محنت کرنی ہوتی ہے اگر آپ واقعی چاہتے ہیں کہ آپ کو اسکالرشپ ملے. دوسرے نمبر کی چیز جو ہے وہ ریفرنس لیٹرز ہیں. تو یہ ریفرنس لیٹر جو ہے نا یہ ایک ایسی چیز ہوتی ہیں جو کہ آپ کے سپروائزر یا آپ کو لوگوں جنہوں نے آپ کو پڑھایا ہوتا ہے یا آپ کے باس جو ہوتے ہیں جن کے اندر آپ نے کام کیا ہوتا ہے وہ آپ کو پرووائڈ کرتے ہیں. امپورٹنٹ اس میں یہ ہونا چاہیے کہ یہ آپ کے ایس او پی سے کوہیسو ہو. مطلب یہ کہ اگر آپ نے ایس او پی میں لکھا ہوا ہے کہ میں نے بزنس کمیونیکیشن بزنس میں بیچلرز کیا ہوا ہے اور اس میں آپ نے لکھا تھا کہ میں نے کوئی پروجیکٹ وغیرہ کی ہے یا کوئی اسائنمنٹ کی تھی, تو جو ریفرنس لیٹر ہے اس میں بھی اس کی طرف اشارہ ہو تاکہ وہ ایک دوسرے کو سپورٹ کریں. یہ نہ ہو کہ آپ نے ایس او پی میں ایک طرح کی چیزیں لکھی ہوئی ہوں اور جو آپ کے ریفرنس لیٹر ہے وہ بالکل کوئی اور چیزیں بتا دیں تو وہ کوہیسو ہو. اور دوسری امپورٹنٹ بات یہ کہ ریفریز مسٹ بی گوگلیبل. جس کا مطلب یہ ہے کہ آپ کے جو ریفریز ہو نا اگر ان کے نام پروفیسر ان کے نام اگر کوئی گوگل میں لکھے تو کوئی ہٹ ہو کہ یعنی یہ اس طرح کا بندہ ایگزسٹ کرتا ہے, کوئی پبلیکیشن ہے اس کی یا اس کو کوئی جانتا ہے یا کوئی اچھی پروفائل والا بندہ ہے, یہ پھر بڑا اچھا اس کا افیکٹ ہوتا ہے. اگر آپ نے کوئی ایسے بندے سے ریفرنس لیٹر لیا جس کو گوگل پہ لکھو تو کچھ بھی نہیں آتا, ٹھیک ہے, تو اس کا مطلب یہ ہوگا کہ وہ کوئی فائدہ نہیں. وہ خالی ایک دفعہ گوگل پہ لکھیں تو بندہ نظر ہی نہ آئے تو کہیں یہ تو ہو سکتا ہے اس نے خود لکھا ہو, مطلب کیا پروف ہے اس کا. دوسرا یہ ہے کہ اپنے ریفریز سے یہ کہیں کہ وہ جب اپنے ریفرنس لیٹرز بھیجیں اگر وہ خود بھیج رہے ہیں تو وہ اپنے وہ والے انسٹیٹیوشنل ای میلس یوز کریں. یہ نہ ہو کہ کوئی یاہو سے کر رہا ہے یا گوگل سے کر رہا ہے, انسٹیٹیوشنل ای میلس ان سے اپنے. اور تیسری چوتھی چیز جو امپورٹنٹ ہے پانچویں لینگویج پروفیشنسی. آپ کے پاس آئیلٹس یا ٹوفل میں سے کوئی ایک ہونا چاہیے. ان موسٹ کیسز آپ کو یہ ریکوائرڈ ہوتا ہے. اگر آپ کو اسکالرشپ مل جاتا ہے تو آپ کو کنسورشیم جس کے لیے آپ نے اپلائی کیا ہے وہ آپ کو ایک اسکالرشپ لیٹر دیتی ہے, ایک فرسٹ یونیورسٹی سے ایکسیپٹنس لیٹر دیتی ہے کہ آپ کا ایڈمیشن ہو گیا, اور آپ کو میڈیکل اور ایکسیڈنٹل انشورنس دیتی ہے جو آپ کو یورپ میں جو ہے نا اسٹڈی کے دوران آپ کو چاہیے. ان تین چیزوں کی بیسس پہ آپ ویزا کے لیے پھر اپلائی کرتے ہیں, ٹھیک ہے. سو what you do is you prepare your visa requests and other administrative procedures. صحیح ہے, سارے کے سارے ڈاکومنٹس آپ ریڈی کرتے ہیں اور آپ صحیح یہ انشور کرتے ہیں کہ آپ کو ساری انفارمیشن کریکٹلی پتہ ہے اور آپ کو اپنے رائٹ. سم ٹائمس ایسے بھی ہوتا ہے کہ لوگوں کو وہ دے دیتے ہیں. Erasmus Mumtaz بات ایسے بھی کرتا ہے کہ کچھ لوگوں کو اسکالرشپ دیتا ہے پھر کچھ کو کہتا ہے کہ آپ کا ایڈمیشن ہو گیا کہ آپ اپنے خرچے پہ آنا چاہتے ہیں, تو آپ نے یہ انشور کرنا ہے کہ آپ ایسا نہ ہو کہ آپ نے صرف انہوں نے ایڈمیشن دی اور اسکالرشپ نہ دی اور آپ جو ہے نا باہر چلے آئے. خیر آنا مشکل ہوگا کیونکہ آپ نے فائنینسز بھی شو کرنے ہوتے ہیں, لیکن ان اینی کیس یہ جاننا بڑا ضروری ہے. और इस दौरान आप लोगों से मतलब एडवाइस भी ले सकते हैं कि क्या होना चाहिए। हम जरा जल्दी जल्दी जाएंगे, ठीक है। द फ्यूचर 2013 तक एरास्मस मंडस था, आगे एरास्मस फॉर ऑल या एरास्मस प्लस हो जाएगा। और ये सारी चीजें हमने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर ली है, ठीक है। एरास्मस प्लस भी हमने डिस्कस कर ली है। ये सब कुछ यूजफुल लिंक्स हैं एरास्मस मंडस के बारे में। एरास्मस अगर आपको ईमेल करनी हो तो आप यूरोपियन कमीशन को डायरेक्ट ईमेल कर सकते हैं। हमारी जो एसोसिएशन है एरास्मस मंडस एसोसिएशन, उसको भी आप फॉलो कर सकते हैं। उसकी जो कम्युनिटी पोर्टल है उस पर भी जा सकते हैं, फेसबुक पे देख सकते हैं। स्टडी इन यूरोप वेबसाइट है, जिसमें आप बेताशर हर तरह की स्कॉलरशिप सर्च कर सकते हैं। स्टडी पोर्टल्स की स्कॉलरशिप है। अगर आप इन एक्सक्लूसिवली एरास्मस मुंडस के बारे में अप्लाई करने का प्रोसीजर देना चाहते हैं, थोड़ा सा हमारा आउटडेटेड एक ब्लॉग्स है, तो आप इसको देख सकते हैं। इस आउटडेटेड ब्लॉग में भी जो इन्फॉर्मेशन है वो वैलिड है, ये नहीं है कि वो, लेकिन सिर्फ ये कि आउटडेटेड इसलिए कहते हैं कि एरास्मस प्लस अब आ गया है। तो लेकिन आप इस पे ये देख सकते हैं कि किस तरह एरास्मस वन एक्शन वन क्या है, एरास्मस मंडस एक्शन टू क्या है, हर एक के लिए अप्लाई करने का तरीका क्या है, फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस उस पर अवेलेबल है, मोटिवेशन लेटर लिखने का तरीका उस पर लिखा हुआ है, कैसे लिखने हैं, रेफरेंस लेटर किस तरह लिखने हैं, ये सारी चीजें उस पर अवेलेबल है। और हेल्प चाहिए तो हमारा फेसबुक पेज है, उस पर ज्वाइन करें हमें, या ये याहू ग्रुप है, इस पर ईमेल कर दें। कंट्री रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हमारे हैं कामरान और गुलाम शबीर बाबर, आप उनको ईमेल कर सकते हैं। और जैसे कि मैंने कहा कि ये हमारा कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। अब आपके पास अगर कोई क्वेश्चंस हो ना तो वो आप पूछ सकते हैं, तो मैं फिर शुरू करूंगा। ये बाकी बम्बार्डमेंट शुरू हो जाएगी, लेकिन हम कोशिश करते हैं कि कहाँ से स्टार्ट होगा। हम ये उसामा जफर के क्वेश्चन से शुरू करते हैं। सो what is minimum CGPA required for Erasmus Plus? There is no minimum CGPA. You can apply to with any GPA. The thing is that you will make it to the scholarship awardees list only if you have a very good application. And a very good application is not only a GPA; it is a combination of everything. So, how good is your statement of purpose? How good is your grade? How good is your reference letter? How good is your CV, like your profile? What kind of work have you done in the past? How relevant is your previous skills and work experience with the program that you're applying? So all these kind of things, they play an important role. So there's no minimum CGP. And as I said, you can have this all information available on the program that you're applying to. So it's better to actually look at the program portal. Aslan is saying, is there any possibility that I get a scholarship first, then I will take IELTS and then we'll provide them with results? I mean, this is like asking. No, I mean, you can apply and they would probably give you a conditional offer letter, but chances that they will are really remote. So I suggest if you're really interested in asking for a scholarship, you must do everything that they want you to do. And that includes doing IELTS. So in your first, like, at least convenience, go for an IELTS test and do it, because you're gonna need it anyway. If wherever you're applying in Europe or in the US, Canada, anywhere you need an IELTS or TOEFL score. Hassan Zia is asking, I really didn't get that of mobility partnership thing fully. Would you explain? Is there any possibility that I might work on thesis in European University? I'm about to finish my master courses work from UET, but I don't feel like work on my thesis here. You can, as I said, Action 1 are full-fledged master courses. Master courses completely done here. Action 2 are also master courses, but they also, in Action 2, you can do like only a thesis, or you could do only a short-term research or whatever you want. You can apply for that. You just have to dig into this whole website thing, check out every partnership and see where you fit. And if you find an opportunity, you should apply for it. You can come for definitely for a thesis if you really want to. And what is the GPA requirement? And I already answered to that. The question from Faraz, this one is saying, please do elaborate on postdoc fellowship. So just as I said about the thesis, the same thing actually applies for postdoctoral fellowships also. So if you look at the actual two partnerships, find out which universities are in every partnership, find out which program or which kind of which fields they are actually cooperating on with different universities. If you fit in those, you can apply for postdoc position, and it could be minimum of 3 months and a maximum of 3 years. So you can actually come for longer period also. Zulfikar is asking, in Medicaid program, is it still we have the same Erasmus Mundus PhD program system? Because in website I cannot find PhD program there. Because most of the PhD programs are not yet available. So, but the application procedure would stay sort of the same. I mean, there are always like little bit changes every now and then, but you would see that it was similar to Erasmus Mundus. The only thing is that now it will not be uh, covered by the Erasmus Mundus sort of thing. Now it will be covered by another totally different thing, which is called Marie actions. So, but the application procedure would remain similar, not the same, but similar. Mazhar is asking, if I'm already master graduate from Pakistan, would I be considered for masters in Erasmus? Yes, of course. You can apply for another master's degree. You can also say you don't have a master's degree and you can apply for another one here. Chances with 3.7 CGPA, I can't say, like, I wouldn't say they're bad, and they're good. If you can work on your profile, like you can probably have a publication or something, or you can have like nice skills, you can still apply and have good chances to actually win a scholarship. Does GRE and TOEFL give benefit? TOEFL is usually required. GRE is not required except some courses. Sometimes it is, but very scarcely. But if you do have a GRE score, you should submit it because it always bolster your profile when you say you have done GRE with a good score, of course. My MS thesis is remaining. What is your thought? I think it should finish, isn't it? So I don't know how should I answer to this question. I mean, send it to me. I'll finish. Sagar Langani is saying, does this program offer scholarship? Yes, I said in Action 2 you have the chance to come to Europe. You will not be given a degree, but you can come here for like short-term exchange, 6 months, 1 year, whatever you want. Do some course work here or a thesis and go back. Halima is asking, do we have to apply for a university separately and the rest? No. In Action 1, you have to apply to the consortium. You do not apply to the university because your application is as evaluated by all universities together. So in most cases, but do check out whatever I said because it's like huge program. So sometimes things slightly differ from each other. But unless, I mean, the key point here is that you should always go to the consortium website and see what is the application procedure. That's it. If they want you to apply to a specific university also, they will mention it for sure. I mean, there's no chance they won't mention it. Hassan is asking, what are Action 1 and Action 2? I think you should wait for next year when we will have this this webinar again, because we just spoke the whole time about Action 1 and Action 2. But anyway, you could have a look at the blog that I mentioned, emmapakistan.wordpress.com. You can go there. Once again, Action 1 and Action 2 are explained really nicely over there. You could have you'll have a very good idea of it. What was your GPA? 4.0. No, my GPA wasn't 4.4. I'm not going to tell you what my GPA is. So anyway, it was okay. Is my thesis okay? It was in the top 10. So that should give you a better idea. Is my MS thesis? No, you asked this question already. Siddhanul Hussain is asking, can reference letters be mailed from university? Again, check out when you are applying, check out the application procedure. How do they wish to receive your reference letter? If they wish to receive reference letter from your university professors by post, by email, or if they generate an automatic email that goes to the email of your professor and then he has to fill in a form, there are different kinds of possibilities. Check this out when you apply. Also, please tell if GRE score can contribute by any means. Of course, I already answered. If you have a good GRE score, that definitely improves your application. Asad is asking, will it be good to apply for Erasmus if you are expected to complete bachelor's in December and apply for January session? Of course, yeah. I mean, even if you finish just before the start of your master's degree abroad, you can still apply. So people who are in 7th semester, by December or November or January, they can still apply for this program. But they need to have, of course, the other requirements fulfilled, like IELTS and things like that. Ahmed Shafiq is asking this. There is there any person who can review your motivation letter? A lot of people send us these motivation letter and we review for them. I myself do that. We are trying to establish a sort of a group of volunteers who could actually do this. And I am in contact with Wokar and a couple of other people. We trying to create a pool where we have like a lot of people who can actually. Right now we have very few people, only a couple. So we check on if you have any. You want to send your motivation letter, send it to me. I'll try my best to see how is it. Babar Khan is asking, sir, my MS thesis is remaining. I totally understand your situation. I really feel yeah, I feel sympathy for you, but I don't know how to help you. So does Sagar is asking, yes, postdoctoral fellowship are offered under Action 2. Halima is asking, can one apply for Erasmus Mundus in final year of 4-year B? Yes, I already answered, and you can definitely apply. Even just you just have to finish your degree before traveling to Europe. That's the requirement. Mohammed Ismail is asking, sir, coursework completed and thesis is in process. Can apply for PhD? I don't know if coursework is bachelor's. No. If the coursework and thesis is master's, yes. What will be the impact of GRE? It's gonna blow the world and also improve on your application. So my thesis is remaining. Mine also. I'm doing my PhD and I haven't done anything in my PhD yet to write a thesis. So I think you're not alone. Manish Kumar, can I apply for if I'm a senior in 4 bachelor's degree? Manish Kumar, what does this question mean? If I'm a senior in 4-year bachelor's degree, generally that question would mean that you're, I don't know, I should not probably make a joke, but if it just means that you have 4 years bachelor's degree, you're about to finish, yes, you can apply. Asad is asking, can I finally at PSC? We already respond to that. Mohammed Abdullah is asking, can you have a shout out for me, please? 3 times 8.0 plus overall IELTS span and can help folks for coaching. Oh, sure. Write to IELTSslayer@gmail.com. Those who wish to have some guidance for IELTS. Applying for MS, I have two conference papers accepted at conferences but cannot publish them due to lack of fund. What should be done in that case? I mean, I don't know that you have to pay for anything to publish a paper in better journals, of course. So if you want to publish something in IEEE, of course you don't need to pay. I don't know what that means, but and yes, when you are applying, even if they are conference paper, you can include them in your application. Say you have 2 conference papers. Why Pakistani applications? Jawad is asking why Pakistani applicants are rejected so much. Also, Indians with irrelevant background but valid experience get EM. I asked few EM scholarship holders, CGPA experience, etc. It's a rather, I mean, because our applications for the past couple of years, we have been trying hard to increase the success rate of our graduates. Like in 2010, I started working with volunteering with the Erasmus Association, and since then, I mean, in 3 years, actually, we are now the third highest number of applications are submitted by Pakistani students, but the success rate is not, relatively high. So the main reason is that when our students apply, they do not put due effort into their applications. So normally, people just send an application for the sake of sending it. They do not work on their statement of purpose. They do not work on reference letters. I mean, sometimes even unluckily, unfortunately, we don't have like people, like good people, Googleable people who can provide us reference letters. So these all things and we also don't have like publications. So we are sort of trying to figure out how to improve on this. But obviously, I mean, this depends on individual effort also. If you are able to pull off a great application, I'm sure you can win the scholarship for sure. And also sometimes, I mean, I know. I mean, there are like a couple of applicants who applied last year and they didn't get it, but they were like really motivated. They applied this year again, and most of them they got the scholarship this year. So it also depends on how enthusiastic you are about. Babar, I am an undergrad. Jawad is saying, I'm an undergrad student about to start my fourth year. Can I apply? I already responded to that. Can I apply there? Yes, you can apply. Yes, Sagar, Erasmus Plus will also cover postdoctoral fellowships. Can a final year BA BSc student apply for Erasmus? Babar Khan, I mean, you wrote this one thing so many times. Why do you do that? Like, why? Can I finally be a BSc students? We already responded to that. Can I get PhD scholars direct from bachelor's? Difficult, not possible, in my opinion. Go for a master's first. Farasta is saying, can finally students apply for PhD for? Can finally students apply for 2000? Yes, of course, they can apply. How to apply for internship, traineeship, volunteership? Internship, traineeship, volunteership under Erasmus Plus program. Check out the Erasmus Plus program website. It's rather new. I mean, you would get to see the opportunities rolling out in by the start of September, but I cannot say tell you for sure where you should look. But I'm sure you, if you put due effort into the like into your search, because Erasmus Plus in Erasmus Plus it's not ready-made thing. You have to look for the thing that you want to have for yourself. So it's not like it's not like usually the case that oh, there's some scholarship I apply. You have to look for things. Asadullah, where will your slide be available? It will be available here. Also, there would be a Dropbox folder that Vakar will upload and will share on the scholarship group, so you can download all kinds of materials from there. Jawad is asking, Googleable referees are not much available in Pakistan, so can we get letter from HOD or just cohesiveness matters? As if, I'm going to give you a short trick, which is like you can write your reference letter yourself and just ask your HOD or whoever is Googleable to send them on your behalf. This is how it works. This is how I did it, because in Pakistan, people usually, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Professor would just ask you, oh, write something and give it to me and I'll send it. So work on your reference letter yourself, then send it. Or best is to find a good PhD doctor in your university, work with him, like learn from him, work with him, try to make a publication, and this way you automatically earn the recommendation letter anyway. Septain is asking anything except SOP can increase your chances as Erasmus. Why would you say except? Because anything, including SOP, can increase your chances as Erasmus Mundus scholar. Yes, I mean SOP, recommendation letters, your GPA, your IELTS score, your CV, your skill set, what you offer, how closely have you worked with your application. That's everything matters. Javad is asking the Erasmus website is rather outdated, the EU website. And most of the courses there have already expired in terms of, because as I said, they will I mean this thing starts, application starts after September. So you should expect that by the start of September or by the start of October, most of the courses which have been expired, they would go away. And the new courses or the courses which are still being offered would stay on the website. Please share your profile. I don't know. I spoke about myself in the first slide, so yeah, I'm a PhD student, and I don't know. You can Google me. Probably you'll find me. Sabah Iqbal is asking, do we have to get unconditional offer from university to? No. If you're applying for Action One, which is Erasmus Mundus master courses, you do not apply to university. In most cases, I always say in most cases, because sometimes it can be different, but in most cases you have to apply to the consortium. They give you the university admission also. In Action 2, sometimes, yes, you have to apply to university, but as I said, find out the course that you're applying, look at the website of the course. Every information, every piece of information would be available there. If you have some course-specific queries, write to the course coordinator and ask him, oh, do I have to apply to the university separately? No. Or if yes, then how do I apply? So all kinds of questions. People respond to your questions as long as they are not sitting in Pakistan. So Shabila is asking language barrier in European countries or all in English? No. There are some countries where English is easily, yeah, yeah, you can get along knowing only English. For instance, I don't know, Netherlands, for example, or Netherlands, yeah. Other countries like France, Germany, you need to. It's possible to live without language, but it is not convenient. So once that's why with Erasmus, when you come, they also encourage you to learn language of local language so that you can, be part of the cultural integration thing. So then, do they allow to work abroad permanently after completing? That depends on on countries. For instance, in Germany, you're given a year and a half uh, job search visa. So if you find a job, you can start working. That's no problem. Most of the people do. In many countries, it is possible. In some countries, it is not. Depends on which country you're going. Check out Zulfikar. Check out the Marie Curie Action website. Check out the project, the open PhD position, and see what are the deadlines. Babar, why are you laughing on me, sir? I wasn't laughing at you. I was just trying to be a little funny, but I hope you don't mind because you asked that question like 1,000 times. So, what do you expect me to do? Um, I mean, see that also have a sense of humor also because you asked a question which was slightly, you know, uh, interesting. So I mean, you can laugh at me also, make fun of me if you want. So, Tina Maheshwari is asking, can a fourth year MBBS student apply for? There are not many scholarships for for medical students, unfortunately, but there are some if they wish to study, let's say, public health or something like that. There are courses for that. Check out the websites. There are some courses for that, but they're not strictly medicine studies in Erasmus, unfortunately. So we have like 10 minutes left. I'll quickly go through. For short-term thesis, some course need English language program. Oh, you can speak to the professor if you want to have a short-term thesis thing. This is only between him and you. You don't need to know if there's a program because you're not studying over there. So Faraz is asking minimum GPA person. You know what? Who got this scholarship? I don't know. I have no idea who is the guy who with minimum GPA. But I know people with 3 GPA have got it. So I mean, depends on how good their profile is, of course. Though I found university offering EX, I could not find my masters in the list of available programs. You need to look harder. You will find something. If you cannot find, I'm sorry, I actually cannot help with that. But I'm sure if you look closely and carefully, uh, both Action 1, Action 2, everything, I think you will be able to find something. Finally, students can apply. Halima, yes. Share your profiles, please. In one of your slides, I saw that referee could be Googleable. Is it necessary? Otherwise, you can, I don't know, if he's not Googleable, depends on, people would say, okay, you don't have good recommendations letters. So that means, like if they have a checkbox, are recommendation letters good? They would say no. So, Sat Server Chima, is 6 point IELTS enough? I mean, in most cases it should be because 6.5 is usually what people require mostly. Okay, I missed 2 questions. 1 question. Elaborate target group 3. So in Action 2, there is one target group 1, which is the students coming from the same university which are part of the partnership. Target group 2 is everybody else, but from the same country. And target group 3 is people who have disability or who are, discriminated or something. So sort of would get political. If I would say who get discriminated in Pakistan, but if you know what I mean, people who have been discriminated or who have a threat or something, they can actually apply as a target group student fee. Halima, it's 3.36 is a decent enough GPA. You should really work on your application, and you can definitely win the scholarship if you put due effort on your profile. Somebody was asking, are there any priorities for years in Pakistan, like sharing scholarships? Other students can apply. They do not say it in Erasmus Mundus that they have priorities or geographical distribution of the scholarships, but like unofficially they do the same. So they wouldn't actually give the scholarship in a one course to all students from Pakistan. So they sort of do this unofficial geographical allocation. So in Pakistan, let's say if they want to give two scholarships, yeah, they would like two scholarships in Pakistan, one in Afghanistan, things like that. You can also exploit the fact that you're a lady, so you can say there are not enough indigenous opportunities for studies in Pakistan, and it is important for women in Pakistan to go abroad and study for all different sorts of reasons. So you can actually use this fact to your benefit, and definitely it can increase the chances of your selection. Ah, Pablo, you got so emotional. Any country that gives preference to Pakistani students? No. I mean, people definitely think about us when they evaluate scholarships. Then they see, oh, this country is troubled, so probably they need education more. I mean, they can play on their mind, but I cannot say that for sure. Halima is saying, could you check my SOP, please, and guide me? Send me your SOP or send to Emma Pakistan at Google. Send here. Emma Pakistan at gmail.com. And we will check that. Somebody, I or someone else will check that. Ikram Muhammad is asking, does work experience give you an edge over other applicants? If it is relevant to the application, to the master course you're applying, if it is relevant to that, obviously it gives you an edge. So if you say you are applying in let's say a program in data sciences or data mining, and you have worked in Pakistan in a company on data mining, so that obviously bolsters your application. Action 3 is not for you, it's for universities to form partnership between each other. Can you please share that blog address you just mentioned? tmapakistan.wordpress.com. You only have like 5-6 minutes. Check out the program you are applying to, Zulfikar. What should we do if we do not, we cannot do? We should look for something else other than Erasmus Mundus. There are other, I mean, PhD opportunities are a lot out there, so you just have to. Sometimes they take interviews. For us, sometimes they do take interviews, sometimes they don't. Very good, 3.7 is good enough. Work on your application. Did she publish research paper? She was selected university. Do you have to? I think we already answered it. I'm just looking for a new question. If there's, we have to, we have to finish this soon. I am planning to give IELTS on 6th September. I will get my result till 22nd. So can I still apply for it as the deadline is September 15th? No, I mean if you can apply and you can say that you already have given your IELTS and you would get the results by, and then you can later submit. You can speak to them if they agree. Yes, TOEFL is accepted. I did TOEFL actually when I was applying, so I don't think there should be any reason why it should not be accepted. I have 6 minutes and okay. So guys, with this we come to the conclusion of this webinar. I hope it was useful for you. Stop asking questions now because I wouldn't answer except Manish Kumar. I am from minority religion. Can I apply for target group 2? You can look for that. What is the proof of vulnerability? It is the proof that you are indeed targeted. Like you have had, for instance, you can quote some incidents in Pakistan that in which minority were targeted. I'm sure you can find plenty, unfortunately. But yes, of course, you can yes say that. So do not ask any question. I would just say final few words. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. I hope it was useful for you. Erasmus Mundus is one brilliant opportunity for people to come abroad and study. And the only thing that I would like to say at the end is that if you really want to have this scholarship for yourself, you should really work hard on your application because it is indeed really very, very competitive. And it's not possible to do it without a lot of effort. So, and also please do not just think about one scholarship and apply for it. Scholarship, as I always say, it's like a hobby. So you do it as a hobby because you have to hunt a scholarship after applying to many different places, like I don't know, at least many dozens of applications you submit, and then you finally get one. And it's not so difficult because you have to, once you apply for one or two to three different positions, three different positions, that means that you are done with your statement of motivation. You have written it, you have mastered it. All you have to do is that for another application you slightly have to mold it, change a couple of things, and then you can submit for another thing. So I mean, if you have any questions about this program, you can write to us on these different things that I have pasted. And with all, I mean, we are here to help you guys, and we really, especially Bakar and other people on Scholarship Network also, we try our best to actually give something back to our country. And we really wish you very good luck and hope that most of you, at least some of you, can benefit from this program. And share the word among other people. And yeah, all the best. Thank you very much.